thing is looking cute, and how am I supposed to edit and work hard
That's me.
if this dog is so adorable? Oh!
Sometimes
Am I in focus? We're gonna hope so. What's going on, guys? I know you saw the title of this video, and I don't want you to be freaked out. I don't want you to think I'm gonna turn into Jake Paul or Logan Paul or anything like that. But I made some merchandise, and I realized that I'm very small and I'm not trying to sell like loads and loads, and I'm not doing this to make money. I enjoyed the designing process of it, and I kind of took it as a challenge because I've never really done anything like it. I've researched a few different websites to see which would be the best one, which would have the best quality. I'm gonna move over to the third here, so it's a little. Actually, I'm gonna move over to this. I'm gonna stick here. No, I'm gonna go to this one. Damn it. So, anyways, I made this merchandise, and there's a few different options available in the link in the description. You don't have to, but I'd appreciate it if you went there and like. You don't have to buy anything. I'm never gonna beg anyone to buy my merch. I might talk about it so like people know. I want you to tell me which one you like the most. If you like think this is too graphic, if it's too like graphic-y, but I don't know my demographic. I know I have some older people that watch, you know, like the GH5 stuff, and some younger people that watch the travel stuff, and I don't know exactly where my demographic lies, and I don't know if this t-shirt is too graphic. I'm gonna be making a couple more different. I'm gonna be making a few different options that aren't as graphic as this. So I think the shirts are $23.99 and they cost me $17.99 to make. Just to be transparent as possible, I'm making like $5, $6 off a shirt. I'm not trying to make a bunch of extra money, but you know, if you want to support the brand Everyday Counts, that's always been kind of my brand with this channel, and trying to make every day have as much value as possible. So that's what the shirt says. There's a white and black option, and there's some like more basic ones. If you wouldn't mind just letting me know, you know, what shirt option you like the most. I don't want you to feel like you have to buy anything to support this channel, because it's not needed. But if you think it's cool and you think the message is cool, they're not that expensive. I think it's $23.99, and then, you know, obviously it's like $5 for shipping, I believe. So I think in total it's gonna be around $30, which isn't too expensive for a shirt, but I realize not everyone, you know, has $30 to throw away on a shirt for some random guy on the internet. The material is pretty nice. It's not a screen printing, it's actually like in the fabric. And that was one of the things. I didn't want like a huge like stamp that was gonna like be touching you and like making you feel sticky on hot days. The shirts are like a little on the thin side, I'm not gonna lie. The quality is good, but they're like a little thin. I think that's just like the design. I don't know what, I think it's just 100% cotton, but they feel nice, they feel light. I got a large, it's a little big. So I don't know sizing wise. I mean, it's not big. I mean, I'm just like a skinny dude. It's a little big around the arms, so if that influences if you're gonna buy some. All right, before I get into editing, I had a comment on my blog yesterday, and I kind of wanted to address it and answer the question because I thought it was a really good question. So it was from Anya Alaskari. You always comment and I really appreciate it, but I've never really known how to pronounce your name. I think it's Anya Alaskari. Is that right? Tell me if I'm saying that wrong. I apologize. Shout out to you. You always comment. I always appreciate your comments. You always have meaningful comments. This one in specific I wanted to talk about because I thought it was an interesting topic. They said, good luck with the deep cleaning, Colin. Thank you. By the way, don't you think having a friend and talking to them is more authentic than talking into a camera? I mean, isn't it going away from what's natural? As much as I enjoy watching these videos, if all of us watching these videos would go out and spend time talking and playing with our friends in the physical world instead of sitting here and doing this, what are your thoughts? That is a very interesting question. This whole new wave of new media on YouTube in general, it's very unnatural. It's very interesting and weird, especially with like the younger generation, like the people that follow Jake Paul and get so involved in his life. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just kind of an evolution in human connection, I guess. But there's also issues with this, obviously, when, you know, Jake Paul is running around buying Lamborghinis and making every kid think that that's like the epitome of success and what they should be trying to do with their lives. So I definitely agree. I think that obviously you should never substitute this internet connection with people completely with like, you shouldn't just stay inside and only watch YouTubers. But I think if you enjoy certain people and watching them, like there's nothing wrong with watching like 5-10 minutes of their day and like enjoying that. But if you become so dependent on that that you don't go outside and don't go in the real world and have real friends and talk to people, that's when it kind of creates an issue where people are becoming so dependent on something that isn't physical. I got a text. I don't know, it's just it's a very interesting concept. There's nothing wrong with having a connection with a person online, but just never completely substitute that for real human interaction, because that's not okay. And you definitely still need real human like friendship and people and family and like people in your lives, because if you're solely relying on people on the internet, you're not gonna feel super fulfilled. But yeah, time to get to editing. I just wanted to address that because I thought it was an interesting question. So I realized while I was just editing there, something I talk about a lot is motion tracking, but I don't really know if I've ever explained it super well. And a lot of the people that follow this channel are into film and After Effects and Premiere and editing and all the editing softwares. But I also feel like there's a lot of people that follow this channel and probably don't know what motion tracking is. So I'm gonna give a brief explanation of what motion tracking is. Basically, motion tracking, either in like a 3D or 2D sense, is analyzing camera movement and then pasting it onto an object so it moves like it was actually in the scene. Because obviously if you just drop a 2D text layer, it doesn't look like it's moving in the scene, or it doesn't look like it's really there. So you basically do this, in After Effects with the 3D camera tracker. Alright, so obviously you want to open up After Effects and, give it a quick little second here. Alright, so I have this clip, just going to trim it up just a little bit and then add the 3D camera tracker just to show you what I mean. So when I say I'm tracking, or when I'm doing motion tracking, it's a pretty intensive process when you're doing it 3D. Usually I don't go inside After Effects, but this will give you a little idea of that. So 4K footage is a little time consuming to track, so let's speed this up. Let's let it do its thing. And then once it's done, After Effects will do its best to solve the camera. And then, it'll give you, I'll make the track point size a little bigger so you can kind of see. So then it'll create a bunch of points in your scene. And then here's a good one that'll just create a good flat plane on the ground. And then, you can create text in camera. So then, obviously, you let this render out, and then the text will be tracked so it looks like it's actually part of the scene. I mean, obviously, if you just add text like that, it's just gonna look like it's floating. But so you can kind of get a good idea here. You can do some pretty cool stuff. Maybe duplicate it, flip it behind, add a little drop shadow only. So you can create some pretty cool little 3D intro things if you think about it and you can be creative. But yeah, that's basically when I'm talking about motion tracking, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to edit all day and this thing is looking cute, and how am I supposed to edit and work hard if this dog is so adorable? Oh! Do you see what I mean? I can't, how am I supposed to focus with this dog around?
I don't know.
I've been doing my best. I've been doing all right, though. I've been working hard.